were a lot of questions today, people trying to figure out what the secret to life is, to a long and happy life. And I just wonder if you were...
Now that is easy because it's so simple.
What is it?
You don't have a lot of envy, you don't have a lot of resentment, you don't overspend your income, you stay cheerful in spite of your troubles, you deal with reliable people, and you do what you're supposed to do. And all these simple rules work so well to make your life better, and they're so trite.
It's been said that a smart guy learns from his mistakes, but a wise guy learns from the mistakes of others. Now guys, this video can be controversial, and it is possibly going to piss some people off because it is for a very specific type of person. I'm gonna be very inconsiderate to most people, but that's the only way that I can get the severity of the situation across. The best way to make the most out of your 20s is to make them your worst. You see, you have to optimize your potential in your 20s because your 20s are the foundation for the rest of your life. What should you do? You should do something which is the intersection of these three circles. One, something there is a lot of demand for and people are willing to pay you money for. Something you are good at and something you love doing. If you do what you love, you won't work a day in your life.
Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love. And that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking, don't settle.
Personally, I am a mechanical engineer. That's what I am good at. I love to build. I invest into real estate where there is a lot of demand for. If you feel like you hit a plateau at work on your business, do something else. You are under no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. Doing the same thing and expect different results is the definition of insanity. Try different things to see what works and what doesn't. Embrace geographical and career mobility. You have fewer anchors right now than you likely ever will. Be willing to move for a better opportunity. Explore geographical arbitrage, which is living in a lower cost of living area while earning a strong currency or building a location-independent skill set. The same bottle of water is priced very different depending on the venue. Be willing to move to another city or country. Personally, I moved from Europe to United States and consequently to Latin America. Start investing as you get your first paycheck. DCA into the S&P 500 or similar ETFs tracking the broad market. Pay yourself first. Don't save what is left over after spending. Spend what is left over after investing. Automate it, even if it is just 10% of your paycheck to start. Get it out of your checking account before you can touch it. In your 20s, time is your greatest financial asset. Thanks to compound interest. Compound interest. Compound interest. Compound interest. $1 invested now is worth vastly more than $1 invested in your 30s or 40s.
Well, every dollar you invest at 25 is really worth $50 because of compound growth. So you invest $1 at 25, it's worth 50 at 65. So it's about a 50x.
Right.
When you're 35 and you start, every dollar is 18. So it's 18x from 35 to 65. At 45, now it turns into $6 for every dollar you invest. So you can see the numbers start to dwindle as you get older because you have less time on your side. And from 55 to 65, every dollar you invest is worth about $2.
Understand the rule of 72. Stay away from speculative assets, crypto, NFTs, pink sheet, penny stocks, complex derivative products like options, leverage ETF, and notes. Invert. Always invert. Don't ask yourself what to invest in to make it big. Ask yourself, what is it gonna make me broke? And stay away from it. Charlie Munger put it, all I wanna know is where I'm gonna die, so I never go there.
I want to know is where I'm going to die, so I'll never go there. This is a quote from Charlie Munger. You need to invert every problem and think about it in both forward and backward manner. Avoiding stupidity is more important than trying to be brilliant. For example, when you are looking at a company to invest, if you focus on what could go wrong with the company versus what could go right, you will have a better understanding if it's a good investment. Focusing on just the good things, you will miss out on the dangers the company may face from competition and other factors in future.
And stay the course. Stock market is a device to transfer money from the active, the inactive, from the impatient to the patient. Quick money is the enemy of long-term wealth. Do you want to get rich quick, or do you want to get rich for sure? Do you want to be right, or you want to be rich?
Children who learn deferred gratification instead of instant gratification, they'll be more successful as adults. So your child asking for an extra dessert is an opportunity for you to help them learn the deferred reward. Begin to change the sequence of what they're experiencing. It doesn't matter how they answer. What matters is did you make them think? How can you have dessert without eating what's good for you? The more times you make them think things through properly, eventually they'll start coming up with the right answer.
Turns out that delayed gratification is one of the most important signals for future success. Your future grows or shrinks based on what you can walk away from today. So, what are you willing to walk away?
It's obvious that deferred gratifiers do better over the long pull than these impulsive children that have to spend money on Rolex watches and other folly.
Smart men go broke with 3 L's: liquor, ladies, and leverage. Just because you can invest does not mean that you should invest. You see, markets move in cycles. Before investing, understand where we are currently in the cycle. It doesn't matter if you are a real estate guy, a crypto guy, a stock or precious metal guy. Sooner or later, that asset class will crash 50 to 70%.
My mantra of investing is 15 good uncorrelated return streams, risk balanced, because I know that if I can pick good investments and they're uncorrelated investment, I won't lower my return because I'll have the average of those returns, but I will lower my risk by up to 80%. So my mantra is, what I don't know, what the risks are always out there, and risk balance them. It's not necessarily dollar balance.
Sure, and it's not just these, it's this combination, this basket, the all-weather portfolio.
This is what history teaches us. Personally, I bought my first house with a bank mortgage in July 2008 for 225 grand. And 3 months later, was worth 150 grand. Consequently, I bought my current residence cash. Do not buy a house with a mortgage, nor buy a house you cannot afford. If anything, buy a fixer-upper, cash, live in it, fix it over time. This is also known as a live and flip. An alternative, house hack. Buy a fourplex, live in one unit, and rent out the others. You see, if you finance a 350 grand house, there's a 30-year rate with a 5% down payment, you will pay a total lifetime cost of 985 grand with property taxes, insurance, and escrow, plus HOA. The same goes for cars. Do not lease or finance your car. Buy a reliable used car or truck, cash, to get you point A to point B. A Toyota, a Nissan, Subaru, a Volvo. Personally, I still drive my Toyota Tundra with nearly 450,000 miles on it. You see, cars lose their resale value at a very fast pace. A 50 grand car financed over 5 years will cost you over 60 grand, not considering a 3,000 or 4,000 sales tax. Possibly, if you decided to sell it or trade it in after 2 years of ownership, you will find yourself underwater, meaning that the car is worth less than you owe.
And it's worth 20 now?
I'm going to say a very bad word here, okay? I'm just recently divorced. I make $96,000 after taxes. I'm about $105,000 in debt at the current moment. A large majority of that debt is a $52,000 vehicle that I have. That vehicle is currently at a trading value of $12,000.
Do you roll negative equity?
Yeah,
what happened?
It's an electric vehicle. I don't know what happened. I've been trying to get rid of it for the longest time. Even if I sell it to a private party, I will only get about maybe 22.
What kind of car is this? Just to warn people.
A Kia EV6.
Kia. Okay, you got a Kia, and you bought it for how much?
62.
And it's worth 20 now? I'm confused. When did you buy it?
You're not. Well, you can be confused. It's crazy. I bought it back in 22.
And in 2 years,
I have
the value dropped by like 60-something%?
Yes. I've taken it to about 3 different dealerships. When they ran it, they're like, how did this happen?
Did you have high mileage on it? Does it have issues, wear and tear?
Nope, everything is perfectly fine with it. I have about 30,000 miles on it. There's no damage to the vehicle.
There's only 30,000 miles.
Understand that there is good debt and bad debt.
Great investors actually use debt, and kind of the difference between good debt and bad debt. Okay, so let's say that this is your financial statement. Okay, this is your income statement, income and expense, and this is your balance sheet, assets and liabilities. Okay, now, here's what happens. And this is really the difference between the middle class and the rich. Okay, the middle class, what they do is they take money, they use it, they buy a liability. Now they're poorer than they were when they started, because that liability could be a house, right? House takes money out of your pocket. It could be a car, it could be a vacation, it could be school. Okay, I'm an A student, so it pains me to say that school is not always an asset, but I think a lot of times it's a liability. Okay, now what do the rich do? The rich do something very differently. They'll take their money and they want to buy an asset. And then what they do is they borrow money to buy more of that asset.
Good debt is used to successfully generate a consistent investment return superior of the borrowing interest rate. For example, one takes out a business loan or an investment loan at 5% interest and consistently generates 15% or above. Other than that, all of it is bad debt. Do not use your credit card for discretionary spending.
It's contrary to my own or Berkshire's interests in certain cases, and the world is in love with credit cards. But I would suggest to anybody that the first thing they do in life is not only, they can get to something else later on, but don't be paying even 12% to anybody. I mean, it's pay that off, and if they're really a good credit and they don't want to do it, come and see me personally. I'll lend you the money at that rate.
You might get an introductory 0% interest to establish credit, but pay it off.
I just got my first credit card. How do I use it properly?
Oh, let me show you. When you go on your weekly shop or fill up with fuel, put it all on your credit card.
But why can't I just use my debit card?
Because this will boost your credit score, which will make it cheaper for you to buy a house or car in the future.
But I heard credit cards ruined credit scores.
Not if you keep the balance low. The trick is to use less than 30% of your available credit.
But won't that just put me in debt?
Well, temporarily, but if you pay it off in full at the end of every month, you'll never pay any interest.
Personally, I had about 50 credit cards, and now 0. I cut them all off. You see, if you take out a 20 grand credit card at today's rate, it will take you 31 years to pay it off, only by paying the minimum payment. Save your money for the rainy day and have money to deploy when the opportunity presents itself. Remember, there is no right price for the wrong investment. Buy assets, not liabilities.
An asset puts money in your pocket, whether you work or not.
A liability takes money out of your pocket. Buy investments or businesses that consistently generate monthly income and that you will be able to sell 10, 15, 20 years in the future out of profit. Remember that the best investment you can make is in yourself. Expand your skill set. Be a lifelong learner. Travel abroad and make it productive. Learn a couple of foreign languages. Learn how to sell, how to write clearly, how to speak in public, and how to manage a project. These are stackable skills that will make you valuable in any industry or entrepreneurial venture. Reverse engineer your dreams. Break the skill into smaller sub-skills. Practice and share the journey. Align yourself with good people. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out the most. Don't waste time and money with the wrong people and on toxic relationships. Study deeply the family law of your region before getting married. Understand that you are signing a contract not only with your spouse, but primarily with the government, with all the implications that carries.
A prenuptial agreement is an incredibly important piece of paper for any couple. It doesn't have to be billionaires like Taylor Swift or 100 millionaires like Travis. It can be for anybody, even people who are on the come up. And what I tell people always is that every single marriage has a prenup. It's either a prenup that was drafted by the state legislature of the state in which you reside, or the 2 people who love each other more than the other 8 billion other options in the world. Now, listen, I can't make decisions for all of you out there, but have you ever been to the DMV? If you've been to the DMV, have you ever looked around the DMV and thought, oh yeah, these people should be in charge of everything. They should be in charge of making the rules for my relationship in the event that anything breaks up between me and my spouse. I guarantee you didn't feel that way. And ultimately, if you let the prenup that's drafted by the government, the default, okay, govern your respective rights and obligations in the event of divorce, you are putting a colossal amount of faith in the state legislature.
The spouse you choose is the most important choice of your life.
I didn't even realize this when I got married, but when you choose a life partner, you are unknowingly making the most important single choice of your life because it dictates and influences pretty much every other area of your life. Because choosing a life partner, it actually shouldn't have much to do with romance. I mean, don't get me wrong, like romance is great, it's fun, it feels really nice. But when you're committing to somebody, what you're really committing to is a confidant, a counselor, a career advisor, a therapist, a co-investor, a teacher, a roommate, and hopefully your best friend. So you really have to choose wisely. A great partner will make everything else in your life feel that much easier, but a bad partner will make everything feel that much harder.
The most important decision you'll make is who you decide to partner with, specifically have kids, because you're in that person's life for 20 years. And I have a lot of friends who are successful in most exterior metrics, but don't have a real partner in their spouse. And they have what I would call a life full of stress and disappointment on a regular basis. Whereas I have friends who on an external basis may not look as successful, but they have a real partner and everything just burns brighter for them.
Take good care of your body, mind, and spirit. Your body is the machine that generates your income and experiences. Build sustainable habits around sleep, movement, and nutrition now. It gets much harder to fix a broken machine later in life. Me personally, I mix weights with cardio, powerlifting with calisthenics. Understand the law of karma.
Karma, action has 3 effects in the sense we mean karma. What are the 3 effects? One is the immediate effect. You give food to a hungry person, the hungry person is fed and the hunger is removed. Direct effect, everybody sees it, no question about it. Second is what you said, an effect on your own mind. Keep doing it and you develop the good habit of sharing, the joy of doing things for others. Psychological effect, it's called samskara. Third one is karma phala, which we talked about here. In Sanskrit, papa punya, merit, demerit, which will result in some pleasant or unpleasant effect, sukha dukkha. So the law is like this: dharma, good action, consciously done, leads to punya. These are words which are used by just about every Indian, but we use it unthinkingly. Dharma leads to punya. Punya means merit. Merit leads to sukha, happiness. So the meaning is all good things which are happening to us now are because of some merit we have.
And the law of action and reaction. It's been said, as you sow, so shall you reap. Stay present in the here and now.
There's only this moment and you become aware of yourself without reference to ultimately any thought about yourself. Let go of trying to interpret yourself, your life, or problems, or even trying to interpret the world. Let go of that. And what remains without reference to past or future, or which is thought. Past or future are created by thought. What remains of yourself here and now?
Now, it's all we've got. Living in the past makes you sad. Living in the future makes you anxious. Respond, not react. It is not what happens to you, but it is how you respond to it that counts. You either control your emotions or your emotions control you.
You cannot control your emotions from rising up, and trying to is a waste of your time. There's a better strategy. Just learn to let them rise up and then fall without reacting. There's also nothing you can do that will ever allow you to control the emotional reactions in another human being, no matter how hard you try. See, emotions are contagious. Seeing someone else who's sad or afraid or disgusted or angry can cause you to experience these same emotions in your own body. This explains why someone else's tone of voice, their shift in energy, their bad mood, their body language can immediately trigger you to feel on edge. And one more thing to understand is that whenever you or another person is hungry or tired or stressed out or under the influence or lonely or angry or hurt, guess what? You're going to be more emotional. And I say this because whenever I do or say something that I later regret, there's always stress, alcohol, or hunger involved. And knowing all this helps me to better manage my emotions, and it helps me to stay in control of what I say, do, and think. And that's one of my biggest takeaways from using the let them theory. You'll never, ever be able to control what is happening around you. You will also never be able to control your emotional responses because they are biological. They are automatic, just like how your stress response turns on automatically. However, you can choose what you think, say, or do in response to other people, or in response to the world around you, or in response to the emotions that are rising up inside of you.
The same goes for money. Money is a great servant, but a bad master.
Money makes a great servant, but a terrible master. Money will test us like nothing else will. It's easy to live a certain life of integrity when you don't have a lot of choices. When you're broke and struggling, you don't have the temptations that people have who have money, because when you have money, you have choices. You have options. So when you have options, you can live out what's really in your heart. So I like to say money doesn't change people. What money does is magnifies what's already in our heart. It gives us a chance to live it out, because when you're broke, you can't live it out. So I say all that to say that when you get money, you got to look at it as a tool to do something good with, instead of something to use to be selfish or to indulge in things that you really shouldn't be doing. So it's a perspective. It will test your values, and it will really determine what your values are. So money is powerful. When I was in the NFL, a lot of the guys, their rookie year, they had been dating their college sweetheart. Then they get drafted, they get a big bonus check, and they have all this money, and all of a sudden they're messing around. Whatever, anything that has a dress on. So the question is, did money change them? Well, I tell you what money did. It gave them opportunities, okay? And they took advantage of some of those opportunities. Is that money's fault? Or was something already in their heart that they just didn't have an opportunity to live out when they were broke? So my point is, money is a powerful tool. It can be used for good. It could be used for bad. And you got to know that going in.
Be respectful of people and people's time, in particularly elderly people. Older people can teach you a lot about life. Be impeccable with your word. Remember, the world is a surprisingly small place. place. Being known as someone who is reliable, ethical, and easy to work with will open more doors than any resume ever could. And last but not least, never, never, never give up. Thank you very much, guy. If you stay up until the end, I really appreciate you. Feel free to contact me with questions, comments. I'm here for you guys. Peace out.